try to make it out like I'm conflicted.
Still trying to the riches.
East Coast, the 6'4's hitting switch. It's not a conflict of interest.
Cut it with the business. West Coast rocking them Timberlands.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to historic Baltimore, Maryland, and M&T Bank Stadium. Tonight, we kick off Week 3 with a great Thursday night matchup between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Baltimore Ravens. As of this morning, summer officially over. It's time for autumn football, and we're underway on EA Sports. And no run back on the opening kickoff. It'll come out to the 25. And they'll come out with a 3 tight end look on the first play of the drive. Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. This running game's so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
A good gain on first has him set up with second and just a couple of inches now from the 29. Again, it's Mixon. Slipped one tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Sometimes being a linebacker in the middle of the field is kind of like being a doctor on the field. You got to make the right diagnosis. Here he correctly sends his run and shoots through to make the play in the backfield.
An early test, 2 plays in. This is 3rd and 2. Now Burrow. A throw for Boyd, but it's intercepted. Kyle Hamilton picks it. And he will bring this back. It's a pick 6 and a Raven touchdown. Justin Tucker for the extra point. And the Ravens lead at 7-0. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Bengals drive about to get going. They're riding a 2-game winning streak into this Thursday nighter. How easy is it when you're on a roll to stay on a roll given the quick turnaround?
Well, you would think it'd be pretty easy because everyone's locked in practice and meetings because everyone feels good about themselves. And for coaches, this is where they have to tell themselves, don't add too much. Don't worry about game plans as much as players. So look at your play sheet and think, give it to the guys who play best and don't worry about the rest of it.
Well, that didn't take long. One play, and we're already looking at a first-and-goal situation. They'll give it to Mixon. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. Joe Mixon with his 4th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Bengals are an extra point away from drawing level. Well, go ahead and strap in, partner. Less than 2 minutes in, had the score on the one side. A quick answer, though, to get the equalizer.
Sometimes you get that sense of urgency that ratchets up, right? When you give up an early touchdown like that, you just know you're like, okay, how do we go back and equalize things? Can we get it done fast? And they absolutely did. Essentially, we're back to even, aren't we?
Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And he'll be brought down at the 28-yard line, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone gets him 3 more. The drive will commence with a run by J.K. Dobbins. Knifes his way forward here, but just 3 yards on the play. Second down. Well, this defense for the Bengals, very strong last week as they helped their squad improve to 2-0 on the young season.
And as in any game, takeaways are always a big key. They're always discussed on defense. There's an emphasis there, and they came away with 3 interceptions in that game.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. And this throw incomplete. Well, the defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to 3rd down.
Against a team coming off a win just as your team did the previous week, you talk about being physical all game long. Sometimes being physical is just being on the spot and helping force the incompletion.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. They'll set up a throw. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. It goes as a gain of 9, and it moves the chains. The Ravens are 1-1 through 2 games thus far. It's not a start that's going to set the world on fire, but they've been pretty solid nonetheless.
And the first thing that crosses my mind, it certainly beats the alternative of starting 0-2. I do think that this is a team that's going to take a little time to find its footing. Hard to navigate the always tough NFL.
Get it? 18 Cardinal, 18 Cardinal. That's right, baby. They don't want it. On the ball.
On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. It shows you right there, he can do more than just cover in the secondary from that free safety position.
Yeah, the evolution of position has really been significant, hasn't it? Because a lot of teams no longer have a free safety, strong safety designation. They just have safeties. So wherever the ball is, one can be close to the line of scrimmage, one can be deep, and vice versa. On that play, how about that tackle we just saw? Pretty nice.
On play action, they'll throw. And that nearly an interception here on this opening drive, but he gets a reprieve. It's third down. Now keep in mind, they did have 3 interceptions last week. Couldn't quite come up with a first quarter pick that time.
But they had to like what they saw in terms of reacting when the ball is thrown. We had an expression when I played. It was called break on it. Every time the quarterback puts the ball in the air, break on the football. Go make a play and accumulate those interceptions.
Former defensive back. You remember those 3 interception games. It can be contagious, give you a little momentum.
They really can, and it doesn't matter whether it's one person or if you spread them across your entire defense. Everybody wants a piece of that pie.
So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. Now a hit and a loose football. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line.
I feel like you and I could be in our backyard with our dads right now. What did they always say when they were throwing us the ball? Look it all the way in. Make sure you secure it. That had the feeling of not happening there on that play, that he didn't have full control of the ball.
When that punch coming in, I'd have a return punch, but I would imagine it's tough to monitor those guys coming full steam ahead at you.
It really is. You try and get that peek to know where they are about whether you should fair catch it or not. But sometimes you just have to have a sense, a feeling, and just have to make sure, number one, though, you catch the ball and put it away.
Play action now. Here's Heineke. And this is going to be hauled in by the tight end, Andrews. And he will reach the 8-yard line before going out. 18 yards there, and it'll be a 1st and goal.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And here he'll get it down to the 7. After all that, they only wind up with a yard. It's 2nd down.
I know it was a gain, but you have to sense probably a little bit of disappointment there, because when it's out there in open space, I think they expect to get more out of a play, don't you?
Especially when you're getting it to your guy out of the backfield. You're expecting him to be able to create something, be a little more shifty.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Good open field tackling held it to an okay gain.
Under pressure now, and he's going to go down. Sacked back around the 8. Trey Hendrickson showing off his pass rush repertoire that time.
2nd goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football. Had to eat it and ended up on the ground.
Mike, 55. Check, 55. Mike. Quick talk.
In motion left goes Allen.
70 Ranger. Cowboy 80.
They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. Eluding the pressure right. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Oh, that's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing 4th down.
Tucker's kick is good. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
The Bengals drive about to get going. Now, early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game. But I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally, because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated, because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice, But at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. Another try after the first down sack. Burrow going up top. Launches deep. A jump ball, and this is caught. A big play there for Cincinnati. 44 yards. Long developing route there on the post corner, but it was worth the wait.
It certainly was. I love the way you described it because you do have to sell the post. Usually a couple of steps towards the middle of the field in order to get the defender to turn his hips. And then he breaks off towards the corner, and off he goes. Well executed.
They had the huge play last time. Here it is a much smaller gain of 2.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read.
And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Tyler Boyd, his first touchdown here of the new campaign, as his guys have now moved out in front. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And the lead is now 14-10. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. Here comes the return from the very back of the end zone. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And they come off a victory over the weekend, but now the quick turnaround here for this Thursday night game. How does that affect how teams like this approach these short turnarounds?
Well, wins and losses.
Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick. And the Bengals are going to take possession of the football. A young quarterback, Charles, rolling to his right. And I know he's right-handed, but is that one that maybe a veteran sticks in his pocket?
I think so, but you have to remember with young quarterbacks, it may take a few years before they get all the stuff out of them that they did earlier in their career or even in their college days when they were used to being dominant. In this case, the NFL veteran defense ended up winning the battle.
And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And it'll be second down. Burrow going to get this out to Boyd on the perimeter. And he's got, and now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And it's picked up by the Ravens.
It's not often that we see big plays end in disaster. And we just absolutely saw it right there. They had something really big cooking on that one.
Can you, when you're down near the goal line like that on a big play, do you get maybe a little too careless, a little too desperate for the goal line?
I think the last part is exactly right. You get desperate for the goal line, and sometimes you get the ball out of it, away from your body, or you're trying to extend to get there, or maybe you're just trying so hard that the ball will come out of your hands. In any event, that's a big opportunity lost.
That one, 28 yards on the ground.
Okay, every now and then, my defensive bias will leak out here. Abysmal play for them. You've got them backed up, and you let them out.
Couldn't take advantage. And you know who's happy? The punter. Because if he was needed, they gave him a lot of space to work with now.
Yeah, because he would have had a lot to think about, right? Don't step over the back line and give him a safety. Now he's got room if he needed it. I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes. But the best part for him, he's got second and third down to fall back on.
He's going to look for Allen now on the deep ball. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. So that now 2 consecutive drives that have ended in interceptions. You wonder if he's trying to do a little too much out there.
Oh, I like where you're going with that maybe he's pressing it a little bit, trying to be too fine with his throws, or maybe overestimating his arm. It could be a combination of all of those things. In any event, he's got to get it figured out and in a hurry.
Jalen Armour-Davis, the one to get the tackle. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. From the shotgun, it's Burrow. He completes it to Boyd. And some space here. And he'll be out of bounds Brown's been able to get it up past the 45. That'll wind up a gain of 27 on the catch and run.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
95 yards for him on the ground so far tonight as he has been terrific in this first half.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
And they go play action now. Burrow. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. They get to him for a loss of 4, and it brings up third down on the sand.
The last run went so well for them. Maybe they should have just handed it off right here, too. Instead, the quarterback ends up keeping it, and the defense is right on him and wipes away the yardage gained on the last snap.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Burrow going to give this to Mixon. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. And 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
And with that run, he's already at 100 yards here before halftime. So if he sees the same kind of action in the second half, he could be on his way to a career game.
And he'll be stopped at the 35, but not before he picks up 7 yards. The offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted.
Let's go. Here we go, here we go. 180. Watch your slap, watch your slap. Watch your slap.
Now it's Burrow. Flushed out right. And he wisely will throw that one away.
Different pass rushes are designed for different things. Sometimes you want to keep the quarterback in the pocket. Sometimes you want him to flush. I don't know exactly how this one was designed, but they made sure they moved him to his right. He got out of the pocket. Unfortunately for him, he was hit as he tried to throw the ball, and that resulted in an incompletion.
Meanwhile, Burrow's throw caught by Higgins. He'll get it inside the 20. Touchdown! T. Higgins, 46 yards. And they are able to add on to their advantage. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And that makes it a 21-10 game. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. Now, they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. The previous run, good for 9. Here's second and a yard.
60 Maverick.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's third down.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
They'll try to run for it with Dobbins. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means fourth down.
Another down on the scoreboard, but the urge to go for it is almost irresistible here on 4th and short. Yeah, I know they're on their own side of the field.
I was going to say.
Normally I would say punt the ball away, but I'm feeling it. I say go for it.
He's going to rifle one deep left side. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the Bengals are going to get it back in terrific field position. Throwing now, Burrow on first down. And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked up by Christian Fulton. And the Ravens are going to get this back to their own 34-yard line. You don't see this often. A quarterback of his caliber, 2 first-half interceptions.
It's absolutely surprising because it happens so rarely. You're searching for what reason, what's going on out there. It's not just maybe the defense is playing well. Is his horoscope off? His biorhythms? What is it?
You went horoscope on us, Davis.
Well, I was thinking maybe REM sleep was off. I'm trying to come up with something.
Anything, right? The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And with him down 2 scores, you wonder if they might try and put something together, even if it's just to get into field goal range. They'll come out throwing here on first down. Escaping the pressure right. Now he's going to send this one deep right side. And that nearly intercepted. Oh, the free safety roaming into position almost had it, but it's second down.
That one brought back a few nightmares because when a quarterback gets outside of the pocket, your job as a defensive back, make sure you stay as deep as the deepest receiver and not let anyone leak behind you for a big play. A nice job there having discipline and not letting them connect on that pass.
They'll send a receiver in motion left. On second down, here's Heineke again. Going deep here for Allen. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's third down.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Yeah, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
They'll bring a receiver in motion left.
Mike, check, 59.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. He's going to look for Allen now on the deep ball. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Von Bell. So his struggle is just continuing here in the first half throwing the football. Charles, now 3 interceptions.
And they don't feel like they're just great plays by the defense. There's a sense that maybe he's a little careless with the football now. So some of the great coaches in the past, you know, they've always said, I can't teach you, obviously, because you're not listening. So maybe the bench can teach you. He's got to be careful now. He might get pulled.
The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half.
On one, ready? Mike 14.
Burrow going to fake to mix it and now look to throw. Out to his left. Now he's going to let it go deep back over the middle. A leap and he's got it. He got it. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. From the right hash, this from an even 40 yards out. McPherson's kick is good, and that will do it for this first half. So we have reached halftime here, and it's the visiting Bengals out in front as we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, the Ravens set to receive the football, trailing here as we resume action in the third quarter. Fielded just outside the goal line, and he'll take it up past the 25. the 26-yard line. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. As they begin their second half here, Charles, offensively, not where they want to be, obviously. They're losing in this ball game, but very much within striking distance. We'll see what adjustments they make in the second half.
Is that the old glass half full, half empty type of a deal? Which way do you want to look at it? Because you're right, they're down on the scoreboard, but they're definitely opportunities now, because if they want to go ahead and get going in this one, get back to the running game. I think there are going to be some places to go with it, and I think the offensive line will appreciate the chance to fire out and hit people.
That's a good point, because they virtually had nothing going in the ground game in that first half. Still 9 yards to go on second down from the 27. They'll bring a receiver in motion right. 2nd and 9 now. Flush to his right. He's got a man, complete. And he'll have it past midfield, almost to the 40 before being taken down. Give him 32 on the play.
We see this happen so often. If you're a defender, it's like watching a bad movie over and over. The pressure's good, forcing the quarterback out of the pocket. But it's a lot to ask for these defenders to stay plastered to receivers long enough. And sure enough, they let a man come open, and the connection leads to a big play.
Last play went for over 30 yards. This one not quite as big, but still over 20.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And this is going to be intercepted. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And the Bengals are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. The Bengals drive about to get going. And their defense just helped them out by getting the football back on the opening drive here in the second half. And now can the offense follow through with points on their first possession?
And that's a big one for them, because after the work the defense has done, they've got a chance here to open up this lead.
110 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Once again, they run with Mixon. And some room to maneuver. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a gain of 13, and the Bengals have a first down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here, because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
12.
Play action. It's Burrow. On the move to his left. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
The defense did its job of taking away a quick throw, but that's only half the battle, because they've got to get to him before he can make a run for it. A little bit late containing him there, so he makes a nice gain out of a play that looked like it was in trouble.
Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. A gain of 28 yards there, and give him a first down. Mixing up the middle. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough at run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
We're all going to get this into the hands of Mixon, his running back. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. A 14-yard gain there as they look to improve this 14-point lead. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. A great play there with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Bengals take a 3-touchdown lead. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. Fields it right around the goal line. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. As this offense takes the field against CD, remember last drive they were moving the football, but then they threw that costly interception, so we'll see if they can right the ship here on this drive.
And doesn't that just sum up football? We see it all the time, don't we?
And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Jesse Bates. And the Bengals are going to take over at their own 28-yard line. Well, they definitely figured out something defensively at halftime, Charles. That's now 2 drives and 2 interceptions here in this third quarter.
And I think the easy thing for us to say is, boy, they made an adjustment, didn't they? Or they showed him something different. I'm not so sure it's that as much as maybe he's just been impatient and forced the ball a little bit. In any event, as you noted, back-to-back interceptions thrown.
Now he dumps this off over the middle. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. First play of the drive going for 14 and also going for a first down. Inside handoff to Mixon. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. 145 yards rushing for him now as his big night continues. Not only an explosive play, but an explosive run. I mean, broken tackles along the way to pick up that yardage.
The way things kept churning for him. Feet were moving. The legs were driving. Looks like someone who spent his offseason working on hill work, running through sand, all the things that you want to build up those leg muscles.
Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards. So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. Mixon on the toss right. And for one of the first times all night, he is going to go nowhere as they bury him behind the line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. 1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. So their task a little bit more difficult now. 2nd and 13 that they're walking up on. Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down. Well, 4th quarter with a 3-score lead here, Charles, but they're still going back to the air and looking for more points.
Well, with this game well in hand, it's an opportunity for the guys to come off the bench and get a chance to play. And a lot of coaches, they want to run their full playbook no matter who's on the field.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Burrow will throw. And tight coverage there. It's knocked away, incomplete.
That was well played, but that was also an example of a corner who understands his coverage, realized he had support behind him, and could be a little more aggressive in the shorter zone, and did exactly that, knocking that pass away.
So on 4th down, off goes Burrow. On comes Evan McPherson for the Bengal field goal. He made his first attempt, this from 45. McPherson's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but They'll take the three, and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
So after the made field goal, here's McPherson to send this one away. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25.
You spent your whole life trying to blow up, but Elohim never had time for donuts. The beat go ham, no time for cold cuts. The game like Big Pitch came to Jonah. Yeah, I'm still independent, they sold 1 million records. Yeah, used to be on my checklist. Big diamonds don't need a necklace. Look, we built the sound like it's double speed Tetris. I cannot build without God in it. We built the sound, you can't copy this. I never brag, it's just confidence. I never rap for your compliments. I wrote this one for the indie grind. If you ain't signed on the dotted line, can't buy my soul with no dollar signs. The industry so full of troglodytes. I don't follow trends. Run it up. Say that with my chest. Run it up. No, I will not bend.